Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to the channel. It's Friday the 13th, and Miss Lyra would like to share a message. So we've shuffled the cards. We shall cut into three. And we'll see what messages want to come through for you, lovely viewers. I want to say thank you to my lovely new subscribers. We are going up in the world. Thank you for sharing the content too. That's splendid. We're reaching more people with the messages. And yes, that's very lovely of you. So thank you very much. That's the purpose. That's the intention, to share all these lovely galactic messages with the help of the fur babies. So she has her crystal wand, labradorite, beautiful piece of clear quartz, and this is celestite. So let's have a look, see what messages coming through. So we have 9 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, 5 of Wands, Knight of Swords, 8 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, and 6 of Swords. Ooh, so this is a nice, interesting little grouping of cards. 9 of Pentacles. Well, this is sovereignty, us being in our own power, everything in its place, everything right, everything growing, looking forward to enjoying the harvest of our labours. So with the energy of Friday the 13th, a lot of people have been brainwashed into believing that it's unlucky. And actually the number 13 is the divine feminine. And it is said that the unluckiness, or the thought of it, comes from a time of hundreds of years ago when the Knights Templar were guardians along the roads and people travelled. And they gave freely of their guardianship and keeping people safe, etc. And they amassed quite a bit of treasure. And the Pope of the time was not too happy with that. And so he arranged on a certain day, Friday the 13th, that these Knights Templar would be slaughtered, massacred. And because he wanted their treasures, he wanted to take from them all that they had accrued. But he didn't realise that not all of the treasure was material. It is actually a spiritual treasure, and it is handed down from generation to generation by word of mouth, but also telepathically, energetically, and it is encapsulated in the number 13. So if we can open to that rather than buy into what has been broadcast to us, that it is in fact a very magical, beautiful, nurturing number. In the past we have the 5 of Wands. The 5s are halfway points, so in a suit there are 10 court cards, and then the upper 3, so the page, the knight, upper 4, the page, the knight, the queen and the king. So with the 5 of Wands here, this denotes battling for something that you value, that you want to bring into your life, that's worth the effort. But a part of you may be flagging, may be feeling, is it worth the effort? But as that is in the past, the Nine of Pentacles proves, yes, it is worth the effort, all of the energy that you've put into something. So the recognition and reward, not just by others, but you and your higher self say, yes, I know it was difficult. I worked very, very hard. Lots of things have been lost along the way. However, I would not have become who I am if I hadn't attempted it. The Knight of Swords, this can denote something coming in very, very quickly into your life. It can also be about arguments and upsets and disagreements and bandying words, throwing insults around and not wanting to listen to what the other person has to say, because you're right and they're wrong. But there needs to be a balance, a harmony, an agreement that it is a win-win situation rather than one is right and the other is wrong. So in a collective sense, this can be, like we had in the previous reading, the Page of Swords, it can be a lot of hot air. So what is being broadcast to us through the media may be a lot of hot air, most of which are untruths. So for us not to buy into everything that is being said, not to believe everything that is being said, because when we say, oh, well, I know because I heard it, or I saw it on the TV, and so it has to be true. This is finding your own truth, being discerning as to what is being pushed out in front of us. Page of Cups. So there's an energy here of needing to nurture ourselves, looking after ourselves, self-love, honouring the inner child, not paying attention to what other people have told you. You must do, you must have, you must see, you must read, you must believe. Sometimes in a bad aspect, the Page of Cups here, he's Narcissus. So it's having someone around you who is a narcissist. But really in the story, this young boy was brought up in a home where there were no mirrors. So he had no idea what he looked like. And when he did manage to escape the confines of his home and he went into the forest, he came across a beautiful lake. And as he looked into the lake, he saw his own reflection and fell madly in love with it. So there is an innocence about it too, being able to fall in love with ourselves without the ego. Just seeing our divine selves, the part of us that has no agenda, that is pure, that is sweet, and that is divine. So in the previous reading, I talked about choice points. And there's another one here in a way saying you can choose to believe all the drama that's being pumped out and get yourself in a right old flap and get very anxious and concerned and want to spread the word or spread the gossip about it, which only lowers your vibration. Or you can tune into you and that part of you that is pure and divine and innocent. So this is part 1. Would you like to join us for part 2 where we do the rest of the cards? See you in a minute.